There we go. Got some live stuff happening here.
Live!
What is up, everybody? How's everyone doing today? Should we let everyone know we're going live? Or we are live? Shit, we're always late on that shit, dude.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. Let me get this going real quick.
Hold up, wait.
Where's our Discord? There it is. What is it, at here?
Yes.
At here! We are live.
We are.
That's all I got, so I put that. Yeah, okay.
Should probably turn that down.
Let me let one more group know. Let me look. Cool Kids Club. Okay. Can you hear my headset going off?
I did hear a little beep there.
Okay. I really need to get this replaced.
You just need to get that new headset I was telling you about, dude.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you've already let the cool kids know.
I did like the cool. Did you want to holler at P+?
Sure. I don't know why I said that like 4 times.
I mean, I'm totally okay with you and I just having a conversation tonight.
I'm down, bro. I'm down.
Keep it short and sweet. We'll just talk for about 15 minutes and call it a night.
we can, dude. Totally can.
All right, we're going to give people 2 more minutes if they want to join us live. If not, I know we'll have a lot of follow-ups afterwards. I know we want to start getting this buttoned up so there's a lot less fluff in the beginning. And these videos are more official in capacity when it comes to going out live.
All right. Job done.
Job done.
Job done. Okay.
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 Like half your head is missing when you're leaning forward like that.
Well, I know I'm going to eventually get like this, and by the end of the stream, I'm going to be like this. I'm pretty sure, right? Is that what I do normally?
Oh, normally, by the end of the stream, we're lucky to get the top of your head.
Oh, okay. All right. How's that? I'm going to...
It'll work. If people have a problem with it, they can say something.
Yeah. If you want to see my whole body, just let me know.
Woo! So cringy, bro. So cringy.
Oh, vaping? Yeah. It is. It's so good, though.
I know. I've been trying to quit. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So, what is up, everybody? How's everyone tonight? I am Punkshu, here with BattleX Theater, here with my boy Def.
What up, everybody? Ooh, my headset talking to me. Thanks for joining us. And, yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and roll the warnings.
Oh, yeah, we've got to do all that stuff. I almost started talking about things.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got to find the buttons. God damn it.
You didn't prepare, bro?
No, prepare? What's that? All right, here we go.
Hey, do you like drinking? Do you like vaping? Do you like to cuss? And this show is for you. It's BattleX Theater.
BattleX Theater. That's a good name.
BattleX, man. He brought the preach video.
BattleX Theater.
Def from BattleX. I don't know if you guys have seen, he just rants, and it's awesome. And he just starts screaming and yelling. I need to have a beer with that guy.
All right, that's that. Somehow during that, I got a big old gob of juice on my mouse.
I got you, Crinkled. I got you. I'm shoulders and up now.
All right, now it's the good Christian stream like it should be.
Yep. Thank you, Chris.
All right. So again, welcome everybody to tonight's stream. This is episode number 5.
5? Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, this is already episode number 5. That's insane.
Damn.
Welcome, Chris. Welcome, Crinkle. It's good to see you guys.
Yes, sir.
So, as always, we're going to start with our weekend re-review. This is where we talk about things that we've done for the last week in between streams, including our Friday video. But we're really going to talk about Friday's video this week. So, Def, go ahead and tell people what you did this past week.
I worked on the video, editing and all that, and then my house flooded. This house flooded. I'm currently moving to a new house. So that's why our video went up on Saturday, because this side of the house completely fucking flooded. So I keep saying that, but that's what happened. I'm still pissed about it.
It's insane, dude. It's crazy.
It was crazy, dude. But other than that, I've been packing and getting all the small things to the new house and setting up utilities over there. So next week, this will be happening in my new house.
And it's gonna be crazy.
I bought a house. I'm just throwing that out there. I feel like a grown man.
You got a house. Like, it's yours in, what, 20, 30 years?
Yeah. Signed my life away. But it's cool.
That's all right, man. I mean, it's like, it's yours, right? And shit,
Yep.
Owning in some ways is cheaper than rent, at least on a month-to-month scale.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely cheaper than what I'm doing now, so.
Anything in the gaming world? Did you do any games?
Some Paladins here and there. Some Final Fantasy 14, catching up on the main story quest. And that's that whole entire game as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Not bitching too much, but yeah, that's about it. What'd you do, bro?
I helped with a video. I said my piece about what I think about things.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this more here shortly. And I ran around in circles a lot in Final Fantasy 14, waiting on you and Lai to get to a point where you needed a healer for quick queue. So
yeah,
that's my gaming experience. And then there's also the other gaming experience, which I meant to keep pulled up, and I was going to show everybody the fun that I've been having with this really awesome game, but I accidentally closed it. It's one of my idlers. Nobody would have been interested in it.
Nobody gives a shit about that, bro.
What's up,
idler?
Minus?
What up, Minus? What up, B?
But yes, I've been playing NGU Idle over on Congregate, and that game is like, in terms of an idler, there's not much visually to look at, but as far as systems go, it's like one of the most intense systems I've ever played. Like, I've been playing this game off and on, like regularly for like the last 3 weeks, and I'm only like halfway through like the progression. And with those games, you can basically play them forever. So I haven't even unlocked like a third of the game, which is cool.
On the idler.
Yeah. Not on Final Fantasy.
Well, you've done all the story on Final Fantasy, right?
Everything up until when the Zodiac Age patch drops. So there's like 14, 12 quests, something like that we've got to do, that I'm waiting on you guys to do them with.
Oh, okay.
So I can't even queue for level 70 dungeons right now.
Oh,
randomly.
Where's Minus at? Minus, where you at on the main story
He
quest,
ain't
bro?
got time to play 14. He got a new toy today.
What'd he get?
Minus, you should tell Def what you got. Dude, he got.
Is it the light? The backlit light thing? No?
Dude, he got a sick new Surface, like, standalone Microsoft PC, which is like this little box that's the computer, but then the monitor is like a 22-inch or 24-inch. There you go, Surface Studio. Really responsive touchscreen, like 4K screen, dude.
Oh.
I'm envious because it would make editing in in GIMP, if it interfaced with it properly, so much easier than the shit that I have to deal with.
Wow, what a piece of shit.
He's
I'm
balling,
kidding,
man. Making all those YouTube monies, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, don't post your videos up on certain platforms, or you'll get reamed for making money. I bought a house. That's how I did it. Was YouTube. So.
Oh yeah, all that the YouTube proceeds that we get from the sponsorships from
Oh yeah.
VR.
Yep. That's. I mean, we work for VR, bro. So you know.
Oh no, nobody says that about our crappy YouTube channel, bro. The devs aren't listening to what we say.
Oh man.
Oh shit! Before we go down that toxic road,
Yeah.
I don't. All right, so here's the deal, guys. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of stuff that's happening, and we'll talk about more of what Battle Axe will be doing here in the upcoming future, like this week future, at the end of the stream. So, but there's a lot of shit going on right now. So, Def and I didn't really have like a major stream planned tonight. We really wanted to stick to that 30-minute format that we originally set out to do. So, I don't have all these side topics and everything tonight. So, really, the meat and potatoes of the stream tonight is talking about difficulty in an MMO, like the classic level of difficulty in an MMO in a modern climate. And this is going to encompass the topic of last week's video, which some people seem to be misunderstanding as a presentation or argument for a tutorial.
Yeah. So did you mention tutorial in the video?
I didn't mention tutorial. Did you say anything about tutorial?
I didn't either, man. Did I? I don't think I did.
I don't think so. Did we say anything about a tutorial in Friday's video? Because
I never recall saying tutorial at all.
So
I may have, but I don't think I did.
Well, let's go ahead and address this. Do you need to take a drink or anything before we get started?
I just poured a drink right now, bruh.
I have to ask, okay. When you think tutorial, and this is for chat too, for those of you listening to this, when you hear the words tutorial, and we're addressing tutorial in terms of, I believe Kilson addressed this one of the platforms about a week or so ago. When we talk tutorial, what do you think when you hear tutorial? So, Def, I'm curious, once you're done responding there, what do you think when you hear the words tutorial?
Well, typically it's like some lame ass, let's move forward with W and side to side with A and D and back with S, and these are where your spells are located, and it points to your little action bar, and you can also open your spell book and flip through it, and this is where those abilities are going to go, and just things popping up basically telling you how to play a basic MMO, you know what I mean?
Right. So like I think when we talk about tutorial, I think like a zone, like the island on EQ2 that's kind of dedicated to it.
Yeah,
But not just that, very much so what you were saying. It's like, here's your abilities. By the way, you can press S and it'll open up your spell book. And if you press P, it'll open up your skill book. And, and they show you how to quest. They're going to tell you what they're going to give you like this lengthy pop-up and explanation where you click next, to learn about the perception system. And I don't think that's at all what we were getting at. I mean...
Absolutely not. My whole deal was, so I played EverQuest. There was nothing, you log on to the game, there's absolutely nothing. But if we want other people to join us, and so from some of the feedback we got from the video, is like, this game is targeting a specific audience or whatever. That's fine and dandy, but what if new people want to play? Like, that was my whole deal. It's like, why not embrace new players? Why not have Pantheon be the next big MMO?
Yeah, no, I agree, man.
But how are you gonna mold these people that have never played an old school MMO into how it's supposed to be, or how it used to be, or how VR wants it to be? And that's the thing, you're going out there. You don't need pop-ups to show you what to do. You just need to show what happens. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I think it does. No, I want to address what Chris said here. So he said some people hear the word tutorial and their ass clenches up. Like that's all they hear is the word tutorial, and they freak out about that. And he said not to worry about those people. But you know what? I do worry about those people, because when I say, hey, my friend Z, who has never played a classic MMORPG, Def and I have been playing Pantheon for a month and we fucking love it, or this is the best beta ever, you should buy it when it comes out. Those are the motherfuckers that my friends are going to have to play with.
Yeah.
Those are the random people that my friends are going to have to play with when you and I are not around.
Right.
And so I worry about those people because, and I say this in a lot, especially when dealing with the Reddit crowd, is, you know, if the community is even 10% as toxic as some of the responses that we get to not just our content creation and being content creators and covering this stuff, but the topics we discuss, then it's not welcoming at all. And the best example I used yesterday when talking to somebody is, it's like, I feel like I'm a LARPer. Like, I used to LARP, right? I used to play live action role play Werewolf, and I had a blast. I loved it, but there's a lot of fucking weirdos that play that shit. And when you call somebody a normie, like, what is a normie? Like, what makes you so abnormal except the fact that you're weird and you play like real life video games? But you know what? What's to say Joe Schmo walking down the street at the college campus in which you're playing might not be interested in doing what you're doing if you just presented it to him and stopped being so weird about it, like it's some exclusive club. And that's the way I feel about Pantheon. I feel like it's, you know, Brad is making something. It's not for everyone, and it's not the sense that it's not designed for everybody. It's in the sense that this game is designed to be difficult, and people may not like it. It's not being purposefully designed to keep people away from it. It's being designed to be difficult.
And that's what I said in the video. I'm like, if people try out the game and do not like it, well, bye-bye, you know, that it's not for you. We get it, you know? And someone said something in chat that really had me going. Let me see. You can't reach those people anyway, Chris said, so screw them, you know, like, you know, if they're not willing to sit down and learn it, because so modern MMOs have such instant gratification, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You go in, you get your loot, you get your item, you know, and it's not nothing. It doesn't mean anything, you know. And we said this time and time and time again. So I think the point of the last video we put out was about, you know, getting into the game, not knowing how old school MMOs were, and kind of being pointed in the right direction, not by a tutorial, not by anything of that means, but, you know, just like you play the game and you figure it out, like, oh, okay, I killed this lizard, you know, he dropped an item. I got to read this item. So I must read this item and figure out where else to go. But here's the other thing. It's 2019, dude. There's going to be guides out there on websites. There's going to be YouTube videos. There's going to be all this stuff. So why not have VR kind of have their own direction and their own way of, you know, guiding the players for the game, instead of them just going to some website? Because once someone goes to a website, that kills all the immersion, you know, like it kills it.
And that was one of the responses. And I don't remember who it was. And Turin, I want to say it was you, but if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But somebody was saying something. No, it was Gator was like, you know, I don't see where there's an issue here. Like, this is a non-issue. It doesn't seem to be an issue where, like, this even needs to be a discussion, because it's just a non-issue. But if we did have an issue with it, instead of burying a game in a tutorial, how about just have a quick pop-up that addresses it really quick? And my argument is simply this: that requires you to read this pop-up or go to a website or read a manual. When we're talking about presentation of systems that VR is particularly putting in place, or specifically putting in place in order to create this immersive experience, I want to feel that. I want to feel like, you know, I just, you know, got out of school and I'm going off on my adventures, and I decide to go off on my adventure. And if I loot a kobold, I'm not talking about seeing an item, right-clicking an item, using item, then I get a pop-up that says you got a quest, and then I read through the quest and I accept the quest. I'm talking about an item that's like, it's a letter from Head Kobold with a body that talks about, you know, go steal all shinies from humans, and then at the end, it has his like signature in a way, or, you know, like XO skull or something like that. And then you're like, the fuck is this? And then there's something perception system wise that's like, you know, a rogue or something might notice a map that is off to the side on a table or something, or, you know, a caster type class would notice a set of runes, or, you know, something that was stolen from somebody that kind of has some sort of magical prowess. When they go in and inspect it, all of a sudden there's like a holographic image of like the Cave of Wonders entrance or whatever. So that's that. I mean, that's really what we're trying to convey is like, we're not trying to say put a tutorial into the game. What we're trying to say is that, and I'll be real here in a moment. I want to catch up on chat, but what we're trying to say is that there's people out there that don't even know what an old school MMO feels like. And they've been playing these modern MMOs, and now they're already introduced to what being in an MMO is like. When back, in 2004, nobody, if you went, you were embarrassed to go to work and be like, yeah, I play EverQuest. Because everyone thought you were a fucking basement dwelling nerd.
Yeah, in turn, I don't remember the EverQuest tutorial. And what else did he say? I suck at this. I'm sorry. Anyway, and Punk didn't play EverQuest. I did back in the day. So, no, I don't remember EverQuest having a tutorial. I remember when they added one. I do remember that. But, yeah.
Yeah,
well, anyway.
I'll tell you this, man. I don't even know. I will just call you EQ Chronicles now, since you changed your name.
That's FC7, bro.
But, dude, see, that's like wearing your badge proudly. But there were so many closet nerds out there that never said it. And then if there were two people in the break room talking about it, in kind of seclusion, and then you rolled up in there, it was like instantly quiet. And then you sit down and you're chilling in the break room having your lunch, and you hear the conversation kind of pick up like this. They're quiet. And you turn around and you're like, y'all motherfuckers play EQ? You play Final Fantasy 11?
Yeah.
Dude, I play Final Fantasy 11. What server are you on?
Yeah. Back then it was all new. You know what I mean? And it's 2019. So I mean that's the thing.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to say is like, WoW, and I'll give WoW credit where credit is due. They made it so much more approachable. And sure, it probably was just modernization of an MMO, not just WoW doing it, but so many more people being introduced to this concept of the MMO, and Facebook games, introduced them to the concept of playing games online with other people and shit like that. So, I really do think there's a lot of gamers out there. I mean, if you ask anybody, everybody for the most part will say, oh, you say, so are you a gamer? And they're like, yeah, I'm a gamer. Well, what do you play? Oh, I play some casual games on my phone, and, I got a PS4. Like, to us, when we think gamer, we're thinking like that hardcore Raider nerd, Yeah. But everybody in some capacity these days, because it's so much more accessible, they are a gamer. So why are we not opening up for that? So there's a lot of chat to catch up on. You guys keep chatting with yourselves. Sorry if we can't get right to you. There is a little bit of a delay, and we do have want to keep it in a certain time margin. But I want to tell you the importance of me for this, okay? And this is telling you too. I've got a 14-year-old boy and a 9-year-old girl, okay? Mm-hmm. I have kids. They love playing games. I tell you this all the time, right? So my daughter's constantly eating up little role-playing sessions and stuff in Roblox, and playing Minecraft and that raft, that fishing Minecraft type sim thing. Right. And my son is playing Rust all the time and working with people, and almost like an RP environment. And they're into these types of games, but they won't touch an MMORPG. And, I've tried to get them into things, and my daughter's fascinated by WoW and Final Fantasy 14, but she doesn't really have the aptitude for it yet, but she's going to grow into that. Right. And I want these kids to have that same opportunity that we did when we were kids. Now, granted, we were just thrown into it, but that was how things were done. That's the way the technology was. It's not been evolved. It's not been any different. And now here it is 20 years later, and the MMORPG has evolved to understand what people want in terms of attention spans. And sure, it's not for everybody, but why don't we let them make that decision rather than just saying, here, throw them to the wolves. It's like when you get a new job and you have a certain skill set that's relatively applicable to it, but then they give you come in, your first day is the hardest day that they've seen all year, and they just expect you to do the job. They don't give you even just, a half hour to sit in and watch somebody do the job to get to wrap your head around the systems,
Yeah. Nathan's in the house. Nathan Napalm. I get you, man. And that's the thing. Like, it's back to the video we put out. Like, it's not like we're asking people to hold someone's hand or give breadcrumbs, you know.
Right.
It's just for those first initial levels, just like, hey, this is a real MMO. This is what you're in for. This is how the game is going to operate. You better find some friends. You better find a group. You better, you know, communicate with people,
Right.
you know. And I said towards the end of the video, which I think a lot of people didn't make it that far, but, you know, Pantheon, community matters. That's what it's about. It's about
Yeah.
community. It's about finding friends. It's, you know, making friends, playing with friends. And, you know, and that's the whole thing is, you know, you get a friend and you figure out shit, you know, you don't,
Yeah.
you know, it's not going to be, you know, a modern MMO. Well, technically it will be, but it's not going to be set like a modern MMO.
All right, so let me stop you there, because this is, and Nathan, this is something that's being said a lot is, well, so-and-so taught me this, or you got friends and you did this, and you learned from so-and-such how to do this. Granted, we've got beta and we've got alpha testing. Some things are to be in place, but let's really consider the fact that this is a brand new game, and a lot of people getting into it aren't going to know anything about the game. Sure, there's going to be people that, you know, alpha tested and beta tested and shit that can give some sort of insight, but there's also going to be the multitude of them are going to be trying to enjoy their knowledge that they already possess, and they're going to be, you know, ripping through that content very quickly. So then someone who picks up the game a week later after it's been out and most of the people are out of those newbie zones, it's going to be more difficult for them to adapt, because they don't know everything that's out there. There's no guides out there yet. There's no wikis that are available just yet. And, you know, I'm sure that shit will get built up over beta. This is all hypothetical. My point being is, though, is there's a lot of this go make friends. They're basically hold your hand and tell you what to do. How's that any different than a tutorial? They're telling you where to go. You're learning from other people where to go. But what if you don't have those people to hold your hands and tell you where to go? You get dumped into an area. And Def, we've seen this in some of the emulators where we play, where it's just you and I kind of trucking along. And then we're going slow as shit, because that's all you can do as a duo. And then we run into, you know, one dude or a group of two that are kind of doing the same fucking thing that we are. And we grab them and we make a group.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, I think what we're proposing. So let me clarify what I meant when I went like this in the video. So, so you have, all right. So you've got this curve in a modern MMO. This is your difficulty curve. Okay. This is your difficulty curve in EverQuest. What we're proposing is that we have a BDO curve in the entry levels. So this is something that Gypsy had mentioned, was, you know, that Gypsy had met a group of people. They ended up founding a guild, so on and so forth. They met in the low level area, and they grew from there. And we're not proposing that that's a bad idea. What we're talking about is, and for those of you who played BDO are going to know what I'm talking about, level progression in that game as a whole is like and then there is a steep curve. You get level 59 or 60, whatever it is, and it just steep curve, because there's really no official level cap, if you will. So when we're talking about this tutorial, we're talking about, you know, level 1, and then there's that kind of like that modern MMO curve. But by the time you get level 4, you're starting to see that EverQuest curve. And then but by the time you hit level 5 or 6, you're seeing that BDO curve, which then continues with the EverQuest style curve. And then we're talking, if you take all of that curve into account, not just a straight line, but the heavy curve, you're talking about less than 5% of the leveling scheme of a game if the level cap is level 50. So you're spending less than 5% learning how to play this game and adapting to this game and having easy mode. It has zero impact on the end of the game. And ultimately, that's the approach, is to have this sandbox experience. You don't have to go fight that kobold we talked about in the video. But if you're a true adventurer, somehow there's going to be mechanics that are in the game that encourage you to go fight a kobold. And when you do, you're going to discover other people banging their head against the wall, and you're going to make a group.
Yeah.
Or even if you're just farming mobs, you're going to be like, hey, random guy, do you want to just hook up and fight some mobs together? Because that's the way people do things.
Yeah. Crinkle mentioned, I don't know if he's replying to you, but he says you're talking about the leveling walls.
Yes, in a way, I'm talking about the leveling wall. So in BDO, there's that leveling wall because there's no hard cap. It's for those people that are just, try-hards and no-lifers. I'm talking to all y'all motherfuckers that are in our chat, too, that do that. No, I'm playing. But as far as that, yeah, we're talking like a little mini leveling wall. Like, again, everything kind of seems kind of skate by modern MMO with a little bit increased difficulty. But instead of going like in WoW where you're level 5 and you go kill a group of level 6 mobs with AoEs, it's I'm a level 5 and I can take on a level 5. But now I'm level 6. I can't really quite kill level 6s. Now I'm level 7. I can't efficiently level on level 7s. I have to kill level 5s. Otherwise, I'm going to have to sit down and regen all the time.
Right.
And that's what we're talking about. Is like a mechanical difficulty that's built into the core of the game.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's VR's game. You know what I mean? They can do what they want. And, I mean, it's not like we're asking for handouts, while leveling,
Right.
It's just what if a new player gets to the game and they can't understand it, you know what I mean? That's at least what I'm proposing. Like, someone can't understand it, they need to get some friends, they need to learn, but at the same time, like when I get into a new game, I'm not going to be sending a tell to every single person, hey, bro, I'm level 4. I can't kill this fucking spider. Hit me up, bro. I do sometimes, but not all the time.
Right.
There are some people that aren't going to do that need to understand you need a group. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think that's what we're trying to convey is that we want people to go into the game and initially feel like, oh, this is a beautiful environment. I need time to adapt to my ability set and wrap my head around this longer GCD, to wrap my head around this auto attack system and this entirely new system, these UIs, what's clickable, the hotkeys, what change of my keybinds. Give them time to adapt to all that. As while also being exposed to the disposition system for one. That's a big one, is the disposition system. So slowly introducing different stylings of mobs that, maybe you find a group of goblins around a fire pit and then every time they respawn, they have a different disposition or could have a different disposition.
Yeah, and once you get like level 5 or 6, you have the perception system. Something pops up and then, who knows what it's going to be. Maybe 6 mobs pop out and you're like, oh, shit. I can't fucking do anything unless I have a group at level 6,
Right. And I think, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like little things like that will tell the new player, hey, this is what you're in for,
Yeah. Dude, that's the biggest thing for me is like with these new MMOs, like Saga of Leucemia, which I meant to talk about at the beginning of the stream, but we'll wrap up with that. But Saga of Leucemia and Pantheon Rise of the Fallen are these systems of immersion. Like we have technology, we have AI, we have codes, we have engines that all are so like more fleshed out than what we had when UO or EverQuest or even Final Fantasy came out, that can create this more immersive experience. And we're not talking about taking difficulty away. And I think that's the most important thing to convey is like, and I've said this too many times on fucking Reddit, you and I want that difficulty. That's why we want to play Pantheon, right?
Yeah, that's the whole reason Pantheon appeals to us,
Right, because we want that. We want to be in a party with Nathan and Boom Tap and Pantheon Plus members and everybody else that's here. We want to group with you guys. We want to do shit with you. We want to do dungeons. We want to go find a spot. We want a camp spot. We want to raid with you because we miss that interaction. Like you don't. Like, dude, like we're playing Final Fantasy right now. I don't even play fucking Final Fantasy 14 unless these guys are on because there's no need to interact with anybody. You try to say hi and stuff in parties and nobody says anything.
No one gives a shit.
Not that, I'm not enjoying playing a Final Fantasy game, but yeah, like I want this almost like, it's like an implied forced interaction. Is really what it is. It's not. They're not telling you have to be with other people, but it's really heavily implied that you should do shit with other people, and that's what I miss about it. That's why when I found out, I told you I was so excited. I was like, dude, let's try this Project 99, and you're like, what?
I was so excited, bro.
Dude, it's because like I really missed that. Like I hadn't been playing MMOs for so long. We've been playing EverQuest or not EverQuest, Warframe, and then we took a break from everything.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, let's do this. Let's try this, and then it was EverQuest Reborn. Then I found Nosomi because that was my jam, and I was like, well, if there's an EverQuest emulator, there's got to be a Final Fantasy one. And just lo and behold, it takes place in the era in which I love so much. So it really reignited my passion for these old school MMO games, and I couldn't imagine playing modern MMOs anymore, and that's why we made a video on it. Like, we don't want to change the difficulty of Pantheon. We don't want to change the difficulty of Saga of Leucemia and any other classic-styled MMOs that are coming out, because we want people to interact. Because at the end of the day, and this is something that was mentioned in our comments as well, we are like a dying breed. Like, true hardcore MMO players are a dying breed. Like, there's a lot less subs because people can casually play games like PUBG and Apex and Paladins and Overwatch. They get their little mini gaming fixes and like spoonfuls, you know?
Yeah. So Turin says, bottom line, VR doesn't and we shouldn't want to scare away or alienate new players and potential lovers of the old school community / gameplay. What do you think of that?
Fucking A. That's what I've been saying this whole time, is it not?
Yeah.
Like, you know, just because it's a hardcore game, don't scare people away with how hardcore it is. Like, you be reasonable. Like, if we're talking EverQuest difficulty, we're not like, dude, I keep getting these comparisons, but with what the fuck is that game that is so hard? Dark Souls.
Dark Souls. Yeah, Minus is talking about that in chat.
Just because one time it was mentioned, or two times, maybe in an FAQ in a live stream, it was used as a reference point where we talk about there are kids that still like those difficult games. EverQuest is not fucking hard. It's not hard. It is not Dark Souls. You're not having to dodge those abilities and shit like you do in Dark Souls. You know what I mean? Go ahead. You want to fight me?
EverQuest was hard, bro.
Was hard.
Was hard, yes. Back in the day, it was hard. I mean, dude, it was. But then again, it goes back to the point. It was 1999.
Exactly.
Not 2019. If EverQuest came out in 2019, you know, there would be, I'm going to switch over to this website or this YouTube video, and they're just going to tell me what the fuck to do. You know?
Right.
And that's what I am excited about with Pantheon, because of all these systems, you know, progeny, disposition, perception, you know, all this stuff.
Right.
Can be used as a tool to guide the new player. And I think that was one of the main points we were trying to drive home.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, let's be real here, guys. Pantheon's going to come out, and it's not going to be that difficult for a modern MMO player to adapt to. It really isn't. Anybody who's worth their salt as an MMO player is not going to have a difficult time adjusting. And if they don't like it, there are a slew of other games that they can play, and that is their option. They can do that. It's their prerogative.
I think on that point, you know, there's going to be people that played Vanilla WoW, played, you know, Vanilla EQ and all that stuff, but they've grown to the times, and they're going to go to Pantheon knowing it's a hardcore MMO, but realize they just ain't about that life anymore. You know what I mean? They're not going to indulge in the hardcore grind. They're not going to spend the time that's needed for this game.
And I'll tell you what, ultimately, anybody here in chat, that could be any one of us. Any one of us could get involved in that and realize that we don't have the time for a time sink. I mean, we've tried countless classic MMORPG emulators. We've gone and played, you know, the TLE server on EQ2. And the reality of it is, like, being content creators, working full-time jobs on top of that, and you know, raising families and buying houses and shit, like, we stopped. That's one of the reasons we quit playing EQ2, is because there was no way we were going to be able to keep up with everybody and be worthwhile and set an example when we don't really have enough time to invest into a game like that.
Well, we haven't really quit EQ2, I wouldn't say.
But that's what I'm saying, why we haven't been playing it lately, because we've been super busy.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
All right, so I'm going to open the floor. You guys are having a great conversation. I'm seeing some of what you're saying. I want to go ahead, and I keep forgetting to do this. If you have any questions or anything, get those ready for us at the end of the stream. We believe in transparency here at Battle Axe. AMA, go ahead.
I want to mention that EQ Chronicles FC7 mentioned that corpse runs hold a special place in his heart. Me too. Like, I want that to be in Pantheon for sure.
I don't.
I do.
I'm not opposed to it, but I want to see some sort of immersive mechanic because it doesn't make sense in my brain. And this happens a lot when we're playing D&D and shit too. Like somebody says something and it's like, well, that's nice that it's on your character sheet, but how do you justify that from an RP perspective? And in Pantheon, how are we going to justify that from a mechanics perspective, immersive perspective? I'm not saying that it's a bad idea, but how do you justify that? But that should be something we talk about in another stream.
Okay. Okay.
I don't want to shut you down, but do you have like something small you want to say about that?
Well, yeah, monks and bards can pull the corpses. You need a necromancer to summon the corpse. It creates that sense of danger. Don't get balls deep into this dungeon, bro, or you might die. If you don't have a certain group party member with you.
I still think you can deliver that experience without making somebody permanently lose their corpse because it got stuck in a tree. What I'm talking about.
Well, I don't think it would be that hardcore where you permanently lose your corpse. Although I don't know because I don't know what VR has because we're still in pre-alpha. But
pre-alpha.
But I think when you die, you have to run to where you died at. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I agree. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm saying if there's an ability where another player can drag your corpse, I think that's cool. I think that means something, and it gives it because in modern MMOs, like if you stand in the fire and you fucking die, oh, not a big deal. I'll get rest, blah blah blah, or I'll just respawn and spawn at the beginning of the dungeon and just run back. Whereas if you die and you're planted there and you have to go back to your body, that will make people more mindful and more aware of their surroundings.
Right, and Adric and Turin kind of hit this nail on the head. Like, for one, so we had blood ports that we used to do in Final Fantasy 11, which is basically you switch to a low-level job and you kill yourself to get teleported to your home point. And that's kind of stupid if you think about it. And then you've got Turin who said corpse permanent decay, no, but definitely dangerous corpse runs. And that's what I was trying to say. So I think if in the event that you die and you've already been playing for 4 hours and you've got a full inventory and you're on your way back and you're a 13-year-old kid and mom says you got 45 or 35 minutes before you got to go to bed and you still need to shower, brush your teeth, all that other shit before you get to bed and you got to get to town, but then you die, you don't have 2 hours that a grown-ass man like you and I do to go get to our corpse. So that kid should be able to be like, you know what? Okay, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to wake up in the morning, and then I'm going to go to school. And when I get home from school, I'm going to have enough time to do my homework, go play a couple rounds of Paladins or Overwatch, and then I can go to the local church and pick up my corpse. Or he can skip that other thing, and his corpse will still be there, and he can spend 2 hours trying to go get his corpse. But there's a way for that corpse to be recoverable at some sort of penalty. As far as what that penalty is, I mean, that's something you and I will have to talk about and get on the same page if a system were presented like that. And obviously, if we decide that we do come to some common ground, we'll make a video for you guys to tell us that we're pieces of shit on.
Well, I mean, EQ did come out with, you had to go to a corpse summoner and pay, some platinum to recover your corpse. So that could be something VR may, implement in their game.
Boom, I have to tell you, I love your shit posting, dude. You make everything everywhere so pleasant.
I love Boom. Boom, I love you. I just want to say that.
So if you guys, I'm gonna roll a warning again. If you guys,
viewer discretion is advised. This show contains vaping, drinking, and vulgar language.
That's Boom. Boom makes that shit for us. Like he's made that shit for us, and it's something that we want to get other community members involved in. But when we thought about a warning, Boom was the first person I thought about. I mean, Chris Kane's got that radio voice, but Boom is just like, if you've ever watched Standing on Fire podcast, you know what I'm talking about. It's just fucking fun.
If I can't watch Standing on Fire live, it's the first thing I put on in the morning on the way to work. And then on my service calls, I continue where I left off.
Yeah.
It's good shit.
we'll continue talking more about reses and shit like that, reses and corpse runs. I think that could make a really good stream to talk about, especially if you and I can come up with an idea, or we can just sit here and do one of these back and forths again too.
I'll fight you, bro. I'll fight you.
In essence of time, we are running a little bit longer than I expected, but again, if we got about 15 minutes for normal standard stream time. So 2 things I want to wrap up on. So go ahead and again, we are about transparency. If you have any questions for us, queue those up. Preferably something that's not about the topic, because we've had plenty of time to discuss it. Maybe anything that's been a burning question that you wanted to ask Battle Axe Theater because we're so awesome. Anyway, if you have a burning question that you want to ask, hold that question and I'll open it up for Q&A. But Saga of Leucemia. So we're going to go ahead and transition from talking about that classic MMO. We're going to talk about another classic styled MMO that is modeled very much in a way that that Ultima Online would have been inspired by, if you will, Ultima Online or Shroud of the Avatar. And it's a very unique system with its mastery system, no levels and things like that. If Adric's still in here, you know what I'm talking about. We're talking about Saga of Leucemia. This is a game that I'm really hyped up for. I've got a video planned to come out in the middle of the month next month, and the immediate live stream afterwards. We're going to have Renfail or Tim, whatever you want to call him. I guess he's like the creative director over at SOL. I don't know his official position, but we've talked a little bit, but I haven't quite got that far into it. Super cool dude. We've been talking back and forth for a little while, since a couple of streams ago, and he's totally interested in doing Q&A with us. So check it out, Saga of Leucemia. Let's try that again. Sagaofleucemia.com. Check out their YouTube. I talked a little bit about it 2 streams ago if you want to check that out as well. It's in the title, Saga of Leucemia. I don't know what the timestamp is. I'm going to try to start timestamping these in the future. But anyway, if you have questions for Tim, get them to us. Thank you, Adric. Thank you. So yes, he's a creative directive, and the game is based off of this massive fantasy world that he's been involved with for like 20 plus years. So it has such a huge foundation to go off of. I'm planning on reading his book over the next couple weeks. If I can find some time, I will make time, because I want to have lore-based questions for him. So if you guys have any questions about Saga, please shoot them through us through PM, DM, Discord. All that shit's in the description of this video. You can join us in Discord and let us know. PM me. I'm Punk Shoe in that Discord. Def is Def Bone, or I don't know, one of those. What are you in Discord anymore? I don't know.
I don't know. You fuckers keep changing it.
You're still Boner.
Okay, I'm Boner. Yeah, people used to call me Boner. So yeah.
Yeah. So that happened. But
that did happen.
You could just shoot either one of us questions, because we want to have a list of things. Otherwise, it's just going to be me and possibly Def asking him a ton of questions. But we really hope you'll join us for that. That's going to be in the middle of May. But until then, Def and I have talked a little bit yesterday. And, with anything comes a bit of stress. And when you're talking YouTube and it's a new environment for you, there comes sacrifices in your life that you make for that, and then you start to realize that this is not a job, and we love hanging out with you guys and we love making content, but Def just bought a house and I want him to take a break, and
he's forcing me to take a break,
and I need a break. So what we have decided on, and if you're following Voices of Terminus, you know that a break doesn't necessarily mean a break.
Yeah,
but we are going to take 2
Probably
weeks
won't be.
off.
Sorry.
That's the goal, is to take 2 weeks off. We will still be doing our Monday live streams starting, this week is the first week that we're going to take off. And then next week we're going to take off and we're going to do a live stream as well. And then we're proposing a 3rd week on top of that. But I have a bunch of different experimental stuff that I want to do. I want to test some other channel types. I've got some other things that I want to do with the equipment that I have and other passions that I have. So I'm going to be fucking around with that. I'm going to be messing around a little bit. Oh, shit. All right. Sorry. Stream just dropped for a second there. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, I'm going to be messing around with some of that. I'm going to be messing around. You all right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was just taking it all in. Something dropped. Go ahead.
We went red for a second there. But anyway, I'm going to be doing things with GIMP, maybe Photoshop. Going to be messing around with Fusion, which is Blackmagic Fusion, which is like After Effects, but in a really weird way. try to come up with some things. I think you were going to be doing some of the same, right?
Yep. I'm gonna be messing around with some After Effects. Maybe mess around with an intro. I don't know. We'll see. Fix up our
We
outro.
have plans that we don't want to share too much on.
Yeah.
So just know that even though we're taking some time off, we're going to be pondering our position as far as a channel and what direction we really want to go. We want to kind of fine tune things a little bit. And we've got some other things that we want to dick around with. And most of all, I think we want to spend some time actually gaming. That's
gaming and enjoying. Like Nathan, dude, I'm like 4 videos behind on your page, man. I haven't watched Pantheon Plus's latest video. I've been packing and moving and my day job, and it's like because it's not about just the channel and making content. It's about enjoying the community as well, and it pisses me off. Like I missed part of Standing in Fire last week, and I didn't know what to do with myself, but my house is flooding, so it sucked.
Yep.
Things come up, so this will be a way to enjoy everybody's streams and their videos and work on little things production wise, and I can unpack and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I have plans to come down that direction. I also have, school's going to be ending for the kids here soon, so they've got end of year field trips. My son will be going into high school next year. From my understanding, I don't know how shit works up here, dude. But anyway, I believe he's going to high school. He's going to be in 9th grade. So, when you exit a school, you tend to have a big field trip when you're that age and shit like that. So he's got that going on. She's got stuff. He's got concerts and stuff he's got to play. So things are going to be a little bit busy. And, me personally, I'm going to use this time to kind of wrap my head around some shit because I've got a ton of creative ideas spinning around in here to the point where it's making me dizzy. And so I want to focus in on that. So huge shout out to everybody who's been along this ride. We are not quitting or anything like that. We're just going to be MIA, but we will still be here on Mondays. That is a priority. We will be here for Battle Axe Live, and maybe we can have a Corpse Run discussion next week.
Yeah.
Maybe. If you guys have any ideas, please let us know in the comments. And also just real quick, Def, before we close it out here, we're wrapping up. If you have any questions for us, go ahead and leave those in the chat now. And once the time catches up, we will answer those questions. Go ahead.
EQ Chronicles has a point. You two seem to hold fundamentally different views on corpse runs. Does that mean you disagree on hardcore versus casual in the future MMOs?
I don't think so, because I think that you and I both realize that it's 2019. It's not 1999. And we know that there are going to be things that are in an MMO that make it more modernized. But we are also all for the challenge of a classic MMO because it's what welds people together and builds relationships and bonds. I don't think I could have the same friendship that I have with you and Z and Dougie and everyone else that I have now if we were to start playing MMOs for the first time now. I don't think it affords that opportunity. Sorry about that, guys.
Excuse you, man. Damn, that is rude. Okay, but we do agree that when you die, your corpse stays in that location.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think a corpse run is important, but not in the extent of EQ. But like you said, EQ even realized that and added things that allowed you to retrieve that.
Well, shortly, if I recall correctly, like when you died in EverQuest, at the beginning, you would lose your corpse, but then they changed that because, like, holy shit, they increased your the time limit to get your corpse, and
I think you know where my concerns stem from. After that last corpse run that we did, I have my concerns.
Okay.
So for those of you that don't know and didn't hear it in a previous stream, I died and my corpse went inside of a hill, and the only thing that was sticking out was a tip of my staff. And what was it, like an hour and a half? We were looking for that shit?
Yeah.
It was a long time, and we ran around the entire coastline of this zone. I don't know what it's called. You can tell them the zone.
It was the zone to unrest. I can't think of it.
But we ran around that entire thing, keeping up our camouflages and vises and shit, trying to fucking find my corpse.
And I made a macro to target your corpse, and I was spamming that shit.
Nothing was popping up, man. And then so I was like, okay, real slow. And then I'm like, found it. And Def's like, what? I was like, found it. Come look at this shit. And he comes over, dude, literally, like on the screen, this much of the ass end of his staff sticking up out of the ground. And I know you had a story about dying too.
To be fair, I think that was more of a Project 99 thing.
I don't know, dude. Watched a video today on Star Citizen where a dude fell through the world.
Oh.
It happens.
Okay.
It happens, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a mesh texture, and if you find a way to hop that mesh, you're gone.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So, do we have any questions here before we wrap this up? Crinkle called me Funk Shoe. I like that.
Ooh.
I want to sit here with sunglasses and a bass guitar now. Boom, 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 boom.
You should change your name to Funk Shoe, bro.
Funk Shoe. Now, FC, man, I get it, man. You're a huge EQ fan. And I ain't shitting on what you love, man. And I know that you have a huge respect for that. But I'm also a person who lives in the present. And I know that systems have changed. And when you talk about that, like, there's a mechanic there, but it doesn't have to persevere through 20 years of gameplay. Like there are things that can take place that are an alternative to that. What they are, that'd be a whole nother stream, but there are things that we can put in that add that level of, I don't want to die, because if I do, my life is going to be hell for the next hour or whatever, and I may lose everything. There are things that can be done besides corpse runs. So I guess what I'm saying is a corpse run's not bad, but let's modernize it. I don't think that's a wrong statement.
So here's my issue. I agree with FC. Let's say Pantheon comes out with the Necro, and a Necro can summon a corpse. So that can happen, but what if you can't get a Necro to do that because they're in a group or they're too busy? You know what I mean? So I'm kind of on the fence with that, on having to rely on a player to summon your corpse. I think so. Here's what I think, and I think EverQuest eventually ended up doing this. So if you die and your corpse is stuck somewhere, after 3 or 4 hours pass, your corpse go to a graveyard, something like that. Because EQ did do that. There was a graveyard in each zone. So if you couldn't find your corpse, you couldn't find a Necro to summon your corpse, at least, you could log off, go take a shit or pay some bills or run to the store or whatever. You could come back to the graveyard and loot your corpse, or have a res your corpse so you get your experience back.
But that should not be free, and it should not be dependent on. There should be some sort of hefty time penalty where your stats are reduced by 10% for the next 24 hours. Some stupid shit, or some thing that you've got to do to acquire certain materials, or get a group of different healers together to do it. Like there should be something immersive to take care of it. The simple idea of dying and your corpse remains, and you're able to just suddenly be back alive and run to your corpse and get your stuff. Like, I can kind of understand that if they justified it from an immersion standpoint, but let's be real here. This is an EverQuest, and while there may be a lot of EverQuest-inspired mechanics, let Pantheon be Pantheon and let them figure out something new and immersive in this environment that inspires them to add this mechanic that's new. Because, I mean, really, at the end of the day, we've all been playing the same MMO. Anybody who's played a modern MMO have been playing the same MMO since 2008, or 2000... Well, before then, when fucking WoW came out, dude, like every game has been a fucking WoW clone. Like, we want something new and innovative that pushes the whatever. It pushes something.
I can't agree with that. And like Boom said, it's all about a balance. It's all about a balance. If we want everyone to play Pantheon, it's going to be a balance.
So with that being, go ahead.
Oh, but at the same time, I don't think Pantheon. I don't think Pantheon's going to be EverQuest, and I've said that in several videos. I don't think Pantheon's going to be WoW. I've said that in several videos. I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle. It's not going to be as hardcore as most people think, because you've seen the last stream. You've seen a lot of the things they added. The auto attack, all that kind of stuff. You know, things are pointing towards an old school style, but a modern MMO.
Turn hit it on the head. I think it's going to be somewhere between an EQ and a Vanguard inspired game. It's going to be something that is middle of the ground. It's going to be something that appeals to both modern MMO players and classic MMO players. Classic MMO players looking more for a challenge, new school MMO players looking more of a challenge, but a reskinned EverQuest without playing an emulator. So, I mean, at the end of the day, right, we're here not to say you're wrong about EverQuest or you're wrong about Pantheon. We are here and we make our videos to open up discussion. And sometimes what we say is not necessarily what we hold true in our heart, but it is an opinion that's out there. It's something that we feel is worth discussing because it's a devil's advocate approach, because we want to open discussion. So
100%.
With that being said, feel free when this video closes to leave some comments in the comments section and let us know what you think might be some good alternatives to a corpse run that still present that appeal of, I don't want to die because it's going to fuck up the rest of my day.
Yeah,
so
we'll make a video on
we
it
will
for
make
sure.
a video, because I think this is now, FC, dude.
I think you and I disagree on certain aspects of this,
Yeah.
So it'd make out for a good video too.
Yeah, we could definitely have some of that back and forth, and I think it'd be really fun. So thank you for inspiring that idea, FC or EQ Chronicles. We really appreciate it, man. Thank you for bringing your fandom or your fan outlook into this conversation. So again, if you have any questions, go ahead and throw them up here. I'm going to go ahead. Do you have any last words you want to say, Def?
Other than no, we kind of covered everything. I mean, going to be maybe a 2-week lull, except for this right here, the Bat Live.
We will be here next Monday, 9 p.m. We are not going to miss Bat Lives as far as videos. Guys, we got 54 videos on our channel, and if you want something to watch of ours in your downtime, go to our page, click on videos, load it from oldest to newest, watch some of the shittiest stuff that we've ever done, and compare it to... Shut up, Def. Shut up. Watch our oldest shit and don't tell us how shitty we are. That's just cool. That's cruel. That's rude. But
we know we're shitty.
Watch our old shit and look at our new shit. And over the last 2 years, or almost 2 years, see how we've evolved and see what we've learned from techniques and what we've learned in terms of production. Like, there's all kinds of information there. And most of all, go watch my Warframe videos, because nobody watches that shit.
Nobody cares about Warframe, bro.
But yeah, the videos are still there. If any of you YouTubers that are in here want to do a show or feature one of us over the next couple weeks, or not feature, but get us involved, we'd love to do a collab of some sort. I would anyway. It'd ease my boredom. Again, if anything is cutting in and out, I apologize. Internet's acting a little shoddy, but those of you who haven't, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification icon so that you're notified when we do go live on Mondays. If you're not already following us on social media, check us out on Facebook and YouTube, Facebook and Twitter, because we're obviously on YouTube right now, right, guys? Facebook, YouTube, we're Battle Axe Theater there. Like our shit, share our shit, let people know that we exist, because this is what we live for, man. Like, we eat this up. I personally live this stuff almost 24 hours a day, popping in and out of other channels, doing research on topics, seeing what you guys are saying, trying to respond to what everyone's saying in our videos. So thanks so much, everybody, for being here to support us. You guys have been awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thank you for not shitting on us too much for our unpopular opinion sometimes. But as you said, dude, we play devil's advocate a lot. We like discussion. We like, because Pantheon's not out, speculations, that it's all part of the fun. So, by all means, don't take everything we say like that's what we want to be in the game. It's fun to talk about it because we're excited for the game. Yeah.
So yeah, thanks everybody for the conversations, and we will see you guys again next Monday. In the meantime, check out those old videos. Check out Nathan. Check out Pantheon Plus. Pantheon.plus. It's all there. Go there and check out their shit if you love Pantheon content. But until next week, we will see you later. Bye, guys.
We'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye. Yeah.